So what kind of cabin is this? You're probably thinking it's not a saddle notch or it's not the button pass method. No, it's a Frankenstein of my own creation. I don't have trees on this property that can go up to 26 feet without a wicked taper. So I had to imagine something in my mind. And what I thought about was like a pole barn. So I figured if I had upright posts that I could have shorter logs in between. So then I toe-nailed them in, and we'll take a closer look at that. So all the logs came off my land, and right where that trampoline is, it was actually bush there. We had a guy come in with like a brushing machine, and he mowed it all down, created us some trails. You can see the trail back here, whoop, right there. And he cut us some trails. But before that, the forest was right there, and we kind of wanted to push it back because we have chickens. And then we had lynx come and actually snag a chicken. So we wanted to move the bush back so predators couldn't get that close. But anyway, I harvested the logs from there, and I hand peeled the logs. Now, I don't know if you guys ever used those log peelers, but if you're peeling a log without gloves, that is a knuckle shredder. There's so much blood on these logs, I bet. I mean, I think the rain took it away, but yeah, it looked like murder. So what I did was I would cut down a tree, drag it out, skin it, and then I would basically put it in place. And I kind of did that. I did about 2 or 3 logs a day, maybe 4 sometimes if I felt really ambitious. So this cabin is 14 by 20. And the problem I came with was that the logs on our land taper off quickly at around 15 feet. So there was no way that I was gonna get, like, let's say a 26-foot log to go the 20 feet in length that I would need for the building. I already had enough problems finding the 14s, as I show you here. So I have 14-foot logs on the bottom there, and that was hard enough to find. So what I did here was I have 3 uprights in the front, 1 on the corner, 1 in the middle, and 1 on the other corner, and it's the same on the back side. So basically I have here 10-foot logs from the corner to the middle, and then another 10-foot log that way. And I'll show you how I joined them. I chose to use nails on this cabin because I looked at timber lock screws and they're like I think it was $179 for like 50 pieces. And I was trying to build this on the cheap, so that wasn't gonna work for me. So I used 12-inch nails, 10-inch nails, and 6-inch nails. So on the corners, I toe-nailed in these logs with 6-inch nails into this log, 1 from the outside on the side on an angle, and then on the inside on an angle into this log, and then also down into this log. Then I would nail a 12 or a 10, depending on the size of the log, down through the top into the other log below. So on the 10-foot sections, I did 3 10 or 12-inch nails. And then on the 14, I did 4, but where the window is, on either side, I did 2 and 2. I was trying to keep the cost of this building down as much as I could. The major cost was nails, the roofing material, the spray foam, and the sliding door. That sliding door cost me $180 off of Marketplace. The roofing material was about $800. Spray foam was $1,300 for the ceiling. And the nails, I think, were probably about $300. But let's just call it $5,000 for a 14 by 20 foot building. I mean, I couldn't find a shed or anything big enough for that price anywhere. So as you can see here, I got this massive ice dam. That's because we didn't spray foam right away because of money. You know, we work and things cost money, so we had to save for it. So what happened was, as the building got heated, the snow would melt off the top, slide over here to this overhang where it's not heated, and then freeze. So with this nice weather, hopefully it'll melt off. If not, I might have to get it off there. But obviously with that thick ice there, I've built this building pretty good because it's holding a ton of weight. The windows are actually from the cabin, our house, that we bought from Easy Up Structures. And since we changed them out, I just kept them and I used them in here. And I made a frame out of pressure treated 2x4s. And yeah. So this is the back side of the cabin. You can see my makeshift chimney pipe and the shower. So the reason why I used spray foam was because I knew the logs were gonna shrink. So I spray foamed in the meantime, and I haven't decided whether I'm gonna use the synthetic chinking or like a mortar kind of chinking. I'm not sure what would be best. Maybe the synthetic, maybe that would stand up better in the cold. I'm not sure. But so the hardest part is once you get up to a certain height, you're no longer able to manhandle them into place. So I had 2 brackets that I would screw into the log, and then I had 2x4s on the backside. So I would place one end of the log on the one bracket, lift up the other end of the log onto the other bracket, and then load it into place, and hoping that those 2x4s would stop it from rolling off. And for the most part it did, but sometimes you had that heavy log go and it would just rip the screws out, and then you're going to pick the log up on the other side of the wall. So safety should be number one when you're doing something like this. I mean, getting hit by a log, that'll take you out for sure. But I mean, I tried using my tractor as much as I could, but the backside is 12 feet high. And with a log and a sling, using my bucket, I wish I had forks, but I don't yet. So yeah, important to be safe for sure. I don't know, for my first go at it, I think it looks pretty nice. I mean, there's always things that you can do better. Maybe on the next one I will. I'm an electrician, not a woodworker or a log home builder. So now that we spray foam that ceiling, I'll load up the fire, let's say at 8:30 at night, and then by morning, it's usually still 7 degrees Celsius in there. So it's actually pretty good. The only thing that's bad is our barrel stove, because there is no stones in it, so it doesn't retain the heat. So once the heat's gone, it kind of, you know, thin metal of the 55-gallon barrels, right? So in the future, when I go to chink these logs, I'll take my grinder and a flapper wheel, and I'll sand out some of this spray foam. And I don't know if I'm going to use mortar chinking or the synthetic. I just don't know enough about it yet. I'll have to read into it. I just wanted to show you guys the ceiling in here. So I had a company come in and do 4 or 5 inches of spray foam on the ceiling by leaving these beams exposed. So I want to run 1x10s, which is the same kind of thing that we used on our siding. And I want to run it this way, but in between this beam and this beam. Kind of, yeah, it's hard to point to. But I'll put that into an episode and film it, and I think it would look really cool. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. So that'll be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. This is not a how-to channel. This is just the way I do things. So if you guys have projects of your own that you're gonna do, you know, experiment with ideas. There's many ways to build things. The channel seems to be growing slowly, which is nice. I appreciate all of you. And if you like the video, you know, give it a like and a subscribe. But other than that, stay safe and stay warm.